Welcome to the AIP channel where anything is possible, where we'll talk about anything and everything. Whatever your heart's desire, if it piques my interest, by God, I'll talk about it. Tonight it's been a little while since I posted, and so I wanted to get a video out, get a podcast out. I want to try out my new microphone I got. If you're on video, you can see my new microphone. So I don't have the headset. I got a new cool mic, so we'll see how this goes. Hopefully it increases the quality of the sound and my voice, and we'll see how it goes. Like I said, I'm learning and I'm trying, so this is part of it. Tonight I just want to do a quick video and nothing long. Just want to see what y'all's opinion on Alex Jones come back on Twitter. I know some people love him, some people hate him. I used to listen to him a lot back in the day. I kind of fell out, especially once he got off. They kicked him off everything. I can go on Odyssey or something like that and listen to him, but I just haven't. Every once in a while, I catch a video, but he's very how you say it, he gets excited. He talks loud and talks crazy and but if you get down to the root of the things, a lot of times he's saying stuff it's truth. It's scary and crazy truth, but it's the truth. How he finds out, I don't know. If you listen to his report on Tucker on X and Tucker Carlson, and he talks about all the reports and stuff he reads. And I mean, he studies and digs and looks and has people talk to him, and it's crazy how close he was. He called what they said 9/11 on July 21st. So a couple months before, on my birthday, actually, he called it and said that who they were going to blame and what was going to happen. They're going to take planes and hit the Twin Tower, and they're going to blame Bin Laden since he was CIA, patsy, and he worked in the CIA before. They said they're going to use him, and by God, that's what happened. And all of a sudden, that's when the news reports came out and said that after that planes hit, that Bin Laden is the one that did it, and like I said, after that's when made me look into stuff, because you look at Bin Laden was in Afghanistan, and all of a sudden they went into Iraq. And that's when they went back to Iraq. And I'm like, what's Iraq got to do with Afghanistan? That's where, and a lot of people were like, well, it's Middle East. It don't matter. Blow it all, all but Israel. It's, but it's a big difference. Some people for sure enough think there's difference, the Afghans don't think they're Iraqis. But yeah, I just want to show I want to show a clip from it, and I hope I stop at the right spot. It might go a little long, but and then we'll talk about it and show some of the predictions and stuff, and like some of the stuff he's gotten right is it's pretty amazing. So like I said, I'm gonna use a little clip from Tucker on X. Let's see, if you want to see it, you can go on Twitter and see and watch the whole thing. It's an hour and a half long. I've watched it the whole thing, and then I watched pieces of it again. So it's I mean, it's pretty interesting. It's pretty neat. Like I said, I didn't know um, about him predicting 9/11. I wasn't listening to Alex Jones then. Like I said, I was, like I said on my other ones, I was still believe whatever I was told. I had a doubt in mind a little bit on a lot of things, but I was just, yeah, yep, they did it. Okay, we need to go get them, blah, blah, blah. But as I get older and as I learn and look and dig and research, when stuff stops adding up, it makes you go, well, that don't make sense. Why don't that make sense? And you start digging. If you listen to my other podcasts, I talked about 9/11, and got a little in depth in it. I still haven't, talked about really it was Building 6 and Building 7 um, and Twin Towers falling like they did. So a lot of people don't even realize Building 6 and how many buildings actually got destroyed that day. Building 7 fell down with nothing hitting it. It fell down free fall rate. And Building 6 had a hole blown to the center of it. Like, they really don't talk about that. But you can go look. You can go and look up the site. I actually posted a picture on the last podcast I did. Not the last podcast I did, but the one I did on 9/11. I posted a picture, and you can see there's a big old hole in the middle of where the building used to be. Like, it was supposed to come down, but they messed up, so they just stopped talking about it. But things that make you go home. But I'm gonna share this right here, and we'll talk about it a little bit. I'll discuss my 2 cents, as I usually am, and let y'all see. Share, play.
Pretty obvious to most people that the current war going on in this country is taking place in ways you can't see it most of the time. But 10 years ago, people were not thinking that way. Alex Jones was. And so we thought it'd be interesting to sit down and talk to Alex Jones, the man. He joins us now in our studio. Alex Jones, thank you.
Wow, Tucker, it's great to be here. Amazing studios, amazing people. And this is really going to be, I think, a historic interview. So thanks for having me.
Well, I'm really grateful to be able to do it. And it's one of the great blessings of my life and of my job is that I've been able to meet people that I've had preconceptions about, and sometimes find those preconceptions bolstered, and in other cases demolished. And you're definitely in the second category. So I want, for people who've made it this far, the people around the country have really succeeded in making you disreputable. And the whole point, of course, is people won't listen to you. So we thought it'd be interesting to start with a series of on-tape predictions that you made, some of which are so precise and so prescient that it makes the hair on my arms stand up. And I'm being sincere, and our viewers are about to see what I'm talking about. Here is a list of things that you called ahead of time.
By the middle of September, that the new policy's being written, you will all have to wear masks again, and so will airport employees.
It's happening. Mask mandates are officially back.
We know the Joint Chiefs of Staff wanted to blow up airliners, Baltimore Sun, or if you let some terrorist group do it, like the World Trade Center, we know who to blame. And if there was an outside threat like a bin Laden, who was a known CIA asset in the 80s.
This group and its leader, a person named Osama bin Laden.
He's the boogeyman they need.
We're looking at a giant war in February right now. I predict the Russians are going to roll in. They're already there. They're going to roll in.
With attacks across Ukraine, which is the size of Texas.
It really was the Iraqis. That's just because they're getting ready to invade Iraq. And what a beautiful setup.
Those 9/11 clips are crazy. I'm actually bothered by the precision of them. I'm not accusing you of being behind 9/11. But how could you, in July of 2001, call that. You said they're going to have airliners fly into the World Trade Center and they're going to blame a guy called Osama bin Laden. Now, leaving aside what actually happened, how could you have known that?
Well, in the longer clips, because it's a multi-hour show from July 25th, 2001, I specifically walked through all the reasons, and I knew that they were hyping up that we were about to be hit by Osama bin Laden. I knew that the World Trade Center had been attacked the first time and that the Fed's been involved helping cook the bomb and allowing it to go forward. And I just saw a lot of the pre-programming that was happening in the media, because they were on the news saying, life's about to change in America. And I was reading what the RAND Corporation was saying and what the Pentagon was putting out. And I read the PNAC document from a year before, Rebuilding America's Defenses, that Dick Cheney had helped write. And it said we need a Pearl Harbor event on the American homeland to be able to bring in this police state and this control and then expand the American empire worldwide. So hundreds of pieces of data went into that prediction.
But terrorists are going to hit the World Trade Center in July of 2001. I lived in the United States then. That was the last thing on my mind. And I lived in Washington. I know the guys who wrote the PNAC document because I shared an office with them. So I was more informed than the average person. And that was the last thing that crossed my mind in the summer of 2001. Like everyone else, I thought it was a Cessna. But how convinced were you that this was going to happen?
I was completely convinced. In fact, in the full clip that's online, you can find it on Twitter and other places, it has been removed. I explained to people that they need to call the White House and tell the White House, we know if you allow these attacks, that you're basically allowing it to happen. And it was similar to all the data we had when
you said that on your show?
On my show. And I gave the number out so people could actually call the White House. And then going back to October of last year, when the Russians went into Ukraine, I specifically said I think they'll go in by the end of February. And there was a lot of data that went into that. And then they specifically did go in on February 24th. And so I was able to make that prediction as well. But there was a lot of data and information that went into it.
Sure. I'm just, for the record, I miscalled that completely. I didn't think they were going to do it. You were right. I was wrong, not for the first time. But the 9/11 thing, I remember that really well. Nobody was thinking like that. So you called it in public on tape. Did the 9/11 Commission? So if I'm the FBI and I'm investigating 9/11, you're like the first guy I would call because you're the only person who said that out loud. Did they call you?
No, they didn't. But my most accurate prediction, going back over a decade, was when I read the Rockefeller Foundation Operation Lockstep, and they described using a virus to bring in world government, to bring in a world medical ID, that they would then build a social credit score off of, and that they would make people wear masks for fear, that they would shut down sporting events and things like that, and basically phase in this new tyranny. So I was also able to specifically make that prediction over and over and over again because I was going off their own battle plans.
Are you the only person in media who actually reads these reports?
I don't think a lot of people do read them, but I do read them. I mean, I'm currently reading MIT reports from their top councils, Pentagon reports. They have a working group called the Mad Scientist Group at the Pentagon that works with MIT. And if you go watch their hour-long, 2-hour-long, 3-hour-long meetings they have on YouTube with all the tops, I mean, we're talking hundreds of top scientists, they admit that they're building a post-human world, that soon everyone's going to be mind controlled, that they're going to put smart dust in our food that they can electromagnetically control. And they just lay it all out right there. And I've learned what these people said in the 50s they would do were done by the 70s. What they said their plan was in the 70s for the 90s, they got done. And then when they had their Agenda 21 in Rio de Janeiro in 1992, the big UN summit, they described everything they would do up until the year 2000, and they got almost all of that done. Now they've got Agenda 2030, and we're going to ban your gas stoves. We're going to ban beef. We're going to ban single-family dwellings. We're going to ban private ownership of cars. We're going to do all this, and now you see them rolling it all out. So I'm not really making predictions in these high-level World Economic Forum and other large think tank groups. They are laying out the future, and they're high priests of the World Economic Forum. It's a consortium of all these groups. Yuval Noah Harari.
I just have pause right there. Tucker don't know what to think. You can see the look at his face like, holy shite. And just blown away. A calm, collective Alex Jones is a scary individual. Like the knowledge is in his head and shit he can pop out. Really is. Like I said, I probably played enough. Really, I really, I'll leave it there. Like I said, if you want to listen to it, you can go check it out. I might get popped for having that on there. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. It is what it is. I'd rather spread knowledge and than not. Like I said, I can't even talk today. My opinion, Alex Jones is like this. He is right a lot. Sometimes, sometimes he's wrong, but most of the time, quite a bit of it. You hear Joe Rogan talk about it. Like most of the time, he is right. The Bohemian Grove and them over there worshiping the Moloch and all that. He proved that was correct. There's still people go over there now to this day. Bilderberg Group, you got all them powerful leaders that get together. Excuse me, and they all the Bilderberg, and they all get together, and they're sitting there talking and crap, and it's lots of big people that think they're above everybody else getting together and trying to make rules for everybody, and I feel bad for the ones that are suffering because of it, and it's heartbreaking to see. You get over there places where they're getting bombed and their children getting blown up and killed, and they never even had a chance to try to make a difference, But I think too much on stuff. What if, what if a lot of things, what if one of the kids that gotten killed, even one of the kids that got aborted, what if that was the one that was supposed to be the next Tesla or something like that that's going to make absolute amazing change in the world, and then they get taken out beforehand. They had the potential of it, they had the mind and super genius, and the things that ramble in my head. If you only knew what rambled through my head, but I guess to kind of finish, like I said, I wanted this to be a little short video. I think it's a good thing he's back on, because love him or hate him, it's his opinion on a lot of things, and there's a lot worse stuff on Twitter than Alex Jones. There's some horrible crap, all kinds of crazy stuff, absolutely batshit crazy stuff I've seen. I'm joking, like I can take doses of Twitter. Usually I like watching, like, seeing the MMA news feed and the pro wrestling news feed and see what's going on with that, because two passions of my life. And then I'm on the group thing for Troubled Minds. I like seeing what they're doing, and because Troubled Minds Twitter, he's always posting great articles all the time, every day, throughout the day. He's steadily, steadily, constantly posting. Very interesting stuff. You need to check it out if you don't have them on there on your Twitter. And then you got the little group pages where you like, I know Trouble Minds got one with a whole bunch of the people from Trouble Minds is on there, and I'm part of that, and I'm part of a UFO one. I'm not sure how I got a part of it. I probably clicked it or something. I'm curious on everything. So, again, I just want to put my 2 cents out there for just a second. I got cool stuff coming. Hopefully, I want to do the MMA podcast coming up with a bunch of cool people and talk about fights and stuff like that. Predictions and stuff like that. I really want to do this podcast kind of like a baby Joe Rogan, I guess, because he has a little bit of everything. He has all kinds of different people on with all walks of life, and then he'll have the MMA talks and stuff like that, and fight companions. And I think that's pretty cool, And so if you might not like this one, but the next one you probably like is kind of deal. So like I said, I ain't trying to be big as Joe Rogan, and that ain't happening. Nobody else is going to get big as Joe Rogan, but I'm just here to have fun. And again, as always, if I get to help one person in any way with this, give them peace of mind or fellow mindset of the situation or whatever, then I'm happy. That's what this is for. I'm steadily trying to learn and grow and see what I can do with it. And if you've stuck around this long on this one, I appreciate it. And like I said, like and share. I'm on the YouTube. I'm on the Spotify. I'm on the Substack now. I'm on Amazon, Apple, most of your major ones that you want, like podcasts. So I'm trying to get out there. So I appreciate you as always, and I'll continue to put these out and grow. And like I said, I'm spend a couple dollars when I can. I got my little microphone here with my little light on it. Hopefully it makes it sound a little better. I know I like it being without having a headset on, so hopefully it's coming out the sound's going to be good. And so we'll see how it turns out. And I appreciate y'all. And as always, keep on keeping on. And peace and chicken grease. Be good.